Better at their sport, Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan?
He is the GOAT of all GOATs to their particular sport.
I think when you look at this, it's not even close.
This is Sharp Money with Patrick Meagher on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Palm versus the big guy. Mike Palm leads 3-2-1. He won the coin toss backstage. So we get started. We're going to start with the draft. 30-second shot clock. You know how it works. The Washington Commanders at number 2 should select, you fill in the blank, Mike Palm.
Well, I think it's Jaden Daniels. I'm not big on Drake May or these North Carolina quarterbacks. I really don't understand what they've accomplished. I actually think Penix would be my next choice to Daniels. I know there's injury issues, but the mobility he gives you with his legs, the ability to create in the pocket, to be able to actually use him in a designed run game, and the improvement that he made from his time at Arizona State, and Stormy will talk about this. You never could have conceived this guy would be a top 5 pick, covering him at Arizona State, to the progress that he made at LSU and his accuracy. I think it's a pretty clear choice for the Commanders.
Yeah, it's Jaden Daniels because it's very rare that at number 2 you get a guy who is as polished as he is already, but also still with the upside that you would normally get at number 1. Jaden Daniels as a passer, the accuracy is there. That is number 1. That is paramount if you're going to find your quarterback in the future. Obviously, the mobility's there. And we saw what Cliff Kingsbury at times was able to do with a guy in Kyler Murray. I think the skill set for Jaden Daniels actually fits that spread offense better than Kyler Murray did.
Dustin, a curveball for you. What makes the Stanley Cup playoffs so special?
There's something regal about it. But to me, it's the feeling you get in a body part that I'm told, according to the FCC, I'm not allowed to mention. It's in between 2 of them that are really important here. There's a pucker factor, a tenseness. There is a density to the air when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs that really isn't captured in a lot of the other leagues or any of the other leagues. I think you can feel the pressure of every single moment and the elegance at which these players skate on the ice, a physicality. There's just a different level in the intensity of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
What makes it so special, Patrick, is that anybody truly can win it. All the baseball teams say it on the first day of spring. It's not true. But we've seen what a hot goalie can do for a playoff team. And it is the most unpredictable of the 4 sports by far. So all these teams, even if you're the second qualifier wild card team that just made it in, like the Capitals, have an opportunity, if Charlie Lindgren gets hot, to take them all the way to the Stanley Cup.
Not Las Vegas. What U.S. city is best for a Major League Baseball expansion team, Mike Palm?
I'm going to go with Charlotte. I think it has to be somewhere in the Southeast is one of my prerequisites. And I came down to Charlotte or Nashville. Charlotte is built as a sports town and has supported all these teams. The key thing for Major League Baseball is, can it financially support and be sustainable? There's a whole region of the country there. You go from Atlanta all the way up to Washington, D.C., where you have no Major League Baseball. It is bereft of it. I think the Charlotte market is a well-defined the fan base is very intelligent and articulate about their sports and will support their team.
Charlotte's the most boring big city in America. I can't stand it. They don't deserve anything. But I agree with Mike. It needs to be a southern city because we need to break up the Braves monopoly on the Southeast. It's insane that they have that many states that are Braves fans. That's why I went with Nashville. It's a destination city for visitors, so teams will travel, fans will travel. Centrally located, if you actually look at a U.S. map for travel, very easy to get in and out of. And it's a growing community. Nashville is getting bigger and bigger every year. Great expensive suburbs like Franklin. And they already support a team like the Predators day in and day out.
If you'd have taken the U.S. off of this, I would say Mexico City is actually my first choice.
Okay, There you go. Dustin, your team, NBA playoffs out of the East and West, and you can't use the Celtics or the Nuggets.
Yeah, so look, the East, it's the Knicks. If someone's going to beat the Celtics, it's not necessarily because they are better talent-wise. It's because they're mentally tougher and they can get in those guys' heads because they've shown that when it matters, they can be mentally weak. And I think OG Anunoby was brought in for the Knicks to do just that, to get in Jason Tatum's head and shut him down. On the other side in the West, I need someone who's going to take down Jokic to go on an absolute heater. Well, there's one guy we've seen do it before in the postseason. That's Luka Doncic. So the Mavs would be my answer in the West because they're so different now from when they were earlier in the year. They are built to win in any style of a fight.
I think the Clippers are done. I agree with Dustin. It's Dallas in the West. Since the trade deadline, they have the best improvement of record, 20-7, and points per 100 possessions. They're plus 7.1. They were a negative before the trade deadline. In the East, I'm going to go with the only team that had a 500 record against the Celtics all year, the Milwaukee Bucks. You still have Giannis. You've got Dame. You've got Middleton. They've been there, done it before.
Mike Palm.
Yes.
Better at their sport, respectively. Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan?
I'm a huge Jordan fan, but this isn't close. It's Wayne Gretzky. He is the GOAT of all GOATs to their particular sport. He's going to set 12 records probably that'll never be achieved. Assists, are you kidding me? He's 900 assists ahead of the next closest person, almost 1,000 points ahead of Messier. He's the 9-time MVP of his sport. Think about that. 9-time MVP of his sport, the greatest of all time.
I think when you look at this, it's not even close. It's Wayne Gretzky. And I think there's an element to his game that Michael Jordan, quite frankly, didn't have. Now, just because of his existence, players that played with Michael Jordan got better. They played better. But I don't think Jordan made them better. Wayne Gretzky, from the beginning with the Oilers all the way through the end when he was, riding out into the sunset on like 4 different teams, Wayne Gretzky made everyone around him better, and that's the sign of a great player to me, the greatest of all time. Can you make everyone around you step up? And he did that everywhere he went.
Okay. Dustin Swedelson. One NBA coach all time to coach a Game 7. Your choice is?
It's funny. We just talked about Michael Jordan. The answer is Phil Jackson. What are we talking about here, guys? I want, with all the excitement and all the noise and all the chaos that comes with trying to win a Game 7, and the pressure, I want someone as cool as a cucumber. He's the master of Zen, Phil Jackson. That's who I want leading my team. Let everyone else have their problems and let him teach them how to focus. We saw in The Last Dance what he was able to do with all those personalities, all the stuff they all had going on outside the court, and he got them all to come together and win multiple rings. Phil Jackson is the answer.
It's very interesting, Patrick. Of all NBA coaches who have coached in 5 or more Game 7s, no one has a better than 500 record. So all these winners have to be a lot of one-and-dones. Auerbach was 8-8. I'm going to go with a guy that's coached in more than 10, and Larry Brown. And you see what he did with a lot less talent on other teams. But with his ability to coach the X's and O's of the game and motivate, has taken teams that shouldn't have won championships and brought them to a championship level, as you well know.
Playing up to the judge, not bad. The best table game, Mike Palm, to play in Vegas is fill in the blank, and why?
Well, I think it's dice. And for a couple of reasons. You can play dice to a very low house minimum if you want to, but the excitement of the community of the game, when you get a hot dice table, there is nothing like it. And don't tell me blackjack, because what kind of game is it where you bust, she busts, and you lose?
It happens to me in my personal life a lot. I bust, she busts, and we lose. I might just leave it at that. The worst table, the best table game for me, if we look at this, guys, you're not winning. You're not consistently winning. You don't have a strategy. So that's why I go with roulette, because I can sit there and I can do absolutely nothing, and I can collect my free drinks all night long. I'm going to stand with my original answer with the bus.
All right, Dustin. This band is coming to Vegas. You drop all your plans, and you have to go see them. What's the band?
So it's going to happen, actually. It looks like I've been enticed through social media clips of a bit of a reunion. Now, it's weird because this band's lead singer died, but they've replaced him with his kid, and that would be Sublime. Sublime now is Bradley Noel's son as their lead singer. They had this guy Rome for a while, and I wasn't really interested in seeing Rome sing for them. Now that they have Bradley's kid and he sounds a lot like him, I'm going to see Sublime when they come to Las Vegas. They were prominent in my adolescence, always blasting in the car with me and my friends growing up. One of my favorite bands of all time.
You know, this is a very difficult question for me because I don't really follow bands. The only band that I ever loved was the Cranberries, and O'Riordan is gone, and so we can't get the Cranberries. I will say Pink is my answer. Because of the show that she puts on is absolutely exquisite, from the aerials to all the people she brings in to do duets with her, to her catalog, which is, it might not be all the way to Taylor Swift, but it's pretty damn close.
First up, the Commanders QB. The Penix portion got Mike the win. Stanley Cup. This is one of the biggest shockers of all time. Dustin used Regal, Destiny, and Elegance in his answer. He wins that. It's 1-1. Major League Baseball. Break up the Braves' monopoly. Tremendous point by Dustin. 2-1 Dustin. NBA East-West. I got it a push. Jordan Gretzky. Palm came with stats. That was a winner, easy one for Mike Palm. NBA coach, easy dunk for Palm. That was Larry Brown, Phil Jackson. I wouldn't even want him coaching my team. Table game push, band push, 3-2, Mike Palm. Close, boys.
It was very tight.
Sometimes you got to look across and say someone got the better of you. I will agree. Mike Palm got the better of me today.
I wouldn't have had an argument if you won it.
Oh, see.
I bust, she bust. Dustin, you're special. Thank you, Mike Palm. We'll see you next week.